Okay, you ready to go, ready? I guess I can start with the basics, and I don't. You should have a copy of this release, but today we received a request for reassignment from the New Albany Police Chief Sherri Knight, as you guys are aware. So she's requested a reassignment to the Detective Division, and we've accepted her letter, her request. So, if you have any questions.
Did you ask for that, or did she offer that to you, and when?
Well, we have, you see a copy of the letter, I've given it to you. She made the request for reassignment, and we've accepted it.
But did she come to you with that, or did you ask her for that?
Well, she requested the transfer, and we granted it.
Why did she request the transfer?
Well, did you read it, the letter?
No.
Okay, would you like me to read it?
Well,
If you could just talk to us.
Tell us what she said there. I think you're familiar enough with the contents, you can do that without reading.
Yeah, I'll tell you what
It'll be more natural on camera, though.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's requested the transfer so she can spend more time with her family.
And is that effective immediately?
Yes, it is.
Who's in charge of the police department at this moment?
We have a chain of command in place, and it's right now. It's the captains are in charge, and so I expect very soon we'll have a new chief.
Mr. Mayor,
Where's
did the assistant chief also step down
did
or
Greg
resign?
ask to be reassigned also?
Yes, Greg has also been reassigned.
Now, our sources again are
reassigned,
saying,
or did he ask to be reassigned?
He asked to be reassigned.
And what would be his new assignment then?
He's also in the detective division.
our
So
sources
are the
are
three
basically, they're
captains?
telling us that they resigned, they did request to resign and be reassigned, but it was because you asked them to. You asked them to request to be reassigned.
I can address the letter, and the letter is they have requested, and that's what they've been reassigned.
And you're speaking of
Did they
Greg Hall?
ask? Did they resign and then they requested reassignment? They have to resign their position in a post to be reassigned. So elaborate on when they asked to be reassigned after their resignation of their previous post.
I can't speak to I can't speak to any other way. I have a letter. They have requested to be reassigned, and they've been reassigned. It's as simple as that.
Were Sherri and Greg told that if they didn't request a reassignment, that they
No.
would be let go?
No. They have. Again, I gave you a copy of the letter. Everybody have a copy of the letter. Everybody has a copy of the press release. What else?
What are the circumstances surrounding your assistant chief of police? Why did he request to be reassigned? More time with family or what?
Well, you can ask him that. You can ask
Well,
him
you just
that.
spoke on behalf of the chief. Can you speak on behalf of your?
No, I'm not
office?
going to because the chief is my appointment. Okay, so I'm not going to speak on that on his behalf. But
Did he provide a letter as well?
you'll have to talk to the chief about that.
Who's
Did
the
he
chief?
resign to, the assistant chief resigned to the chief?
Yes, that's correct. No. The assistant chief asked also to be reassigned.
Okay, but did he request that of the chief?
Yes.
Did she grant that prior to being reassigned
They
herself?
have both been reassigned. They have both been reassigned to the detective division.
So if the three captains, I'm assuming those are the shift captains, are in charge of the police department right now, can this police department function efficiently without one person in charge?
Yes, it can.
What do you expect of them to do from this point on?
I expect that we'll have the position filled very shortly.
Do you expect to promote from within? Or bring in someone from the outside?
I expect, well, let's see. I don't want to put any expectations out there, but the position will be filled shortly.
What are your
Shortly,
thoughts
just
on-
a few days, or do you have someone already in mind?
No, we don't have anyone in mind. So,
What are your thoughts?
I expect it'll be filled shortly.
What are your thoughts on the circumstances surrounding Sergeant Gary Humphrey?
I have no thoughts on that at all.
Did this have
That's
anything to do with Mr. Humphrey, or?
This is Mr. Humphreys is a different issue altogether.
Oh, what's the issue? It's a different issue altogether. What's the issue?
This issue is my chief resigned. That's the issue.
And then what's the issue with Gary Humphrey? You said it's a different issue.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it's different. It doesn't have to. We are not involved. This is not the same issue. She resigned her position today, and that's all there is to it. You all brought up Humphrey.
What's the issue with Gary Humphrey?
I really can't tell you but I can't tell you what the issue is with Gary Humphrey.
You're not aware of it?
I'm aware of, I'm aware of what's going on right now with the grand jury.
What's
So,
the outcome of the grand jury?
I don't know. We're waiting that.
So you're saying that what has happened with the reassignments of the chief and the assistant chief has nothing to do with what's going on with the officers in the grand jury?
I am saying this. I'm saying the chief resigned today. Okay, and that's all I'm saying. Chief resigned today.
Okay, but just
Anything else?
but for the public, obviously I understand what you can and can't say, but for the public, they hear that indictments are coming down in relation to police officers. Then they hear that the chief and the police chief. It's a huge blow to public confidence. If we can just clarify for people what exactly is happening here, because it just sounds like a lot of people in power getting in trouble, but no one's saying why and where we go from here.
Well, I can't speak to that. The grand jury is dealing with that issue. And as soon as the grand jury comes forward with their verdict, then maybe we can address those. But right now, this issue is our chief of police has resigned, you know, and I'm telling you that, and you have a copy of the resignation letter. So that may not be what you want to hear, but that's what I've got to tell you.
How does it
It's
make you feel
vague.
knowing that your chief of police and your assistant chief of police have resigned? How does that make you feel as a mayor?
What do you mean? How does it make you
How does it
feel?
make you feel? Knowing that they had to resign.
They cited the reasons. You have that.
We don't have Pennell's reasoning.
Pardon me?
We don't have Pennell's reasoning, just Knight's.
That's right. Well, you have Chief Knight's.
Can you see why members of the public are going to look at the allegations that were made by Officer Shook and then connect these two events?
You know, I can't speak to that because they're separate issues right now. So, but listen, that's all I've got. I appreciate you all being here.
But Jeff, to
Okay.
make it clear, again, your answer to the question, did you ask for the resignation of Chief Knight and Assistant Chief Pennell?
And I've answered it. Chris.
So the
I
answer
think
is
we
no.
missed it.
Yeah, she submitted the letter, and she's asked for reassignment, and we've granted that.